It's Jeremy from Jeremy.net. If you have watched a number of my videos before, then you will have heard this before. But I'm telling you again because it bears repeating. I want you to press pause on the video. I want you to go pull out whatever project you're working on. If you're writing a novel, if you're working on a comic, if you're doing an art piece or a painting, stop watching this video. Go sit down for an hour and work on that. I will be here when you come back. The video will be paused. Okay. You back? You done? You get some work done? Good. Every once in a while, we need that kick in the pants for someone to remind us to go sit down and be productive. We spend so much time planning, working on a schedule, trying to figure out how to fit all of the work we want to fit in, that a lot of times we still forget to do the actual work. And in the end, all the planning doesn't mean shit if you don't actually make anything. So sometimes you got to stop with the planning and organizing and just go be creative, as I like to say all the time. This piece that I'm working on these are the pencils for Morningstar Volume 1, the cover for my recently published graphic novel. It's the cover for the collection, the first 4 issues of Morningstar. It's available on my website, jeremy.net. It's also available on Amazon. There will be links in the description. This piece, I also tried a little bit of an experiment, which I'll share a little bit of you at the end of the video. I ended up painting a watercolor wash that I tried to Photoshop into the background of the painting. When I go into Photoshop and paint it digitally, and when you look at the cover of the book, you can faintly see some watercolor texture in the sky in the background. In this piece, the watercolor wash effect did not come out the way that I envisioned it. But that's still good to experiment. I'd rather try something and have it not come out the way that I saw it than to never try anything new at all. And in fact, seeing how it came out in this book gave me some ideas for trying it again in maybe some future covers of the single issues or some other pieces. So that's another reason why it's good to just experiment and try things, because even if it doesn't come out well, you may say, all right, let me try some other approach. Let me do something different with it. Back to the topic that I started with, sitting down and getting to work. A lot of times you just got to ask yourself, how badly do you want it? You know, because it is hard to be productive. I was literally just texting with a friend, messaging online about the creative process, and I told him it was funny that he said that grinding is really hard. And I'm like, well, hell yeah, it's hard. You know, that's why it's called grinding. But you've got to ask yourself, how bad do you want this? That comic you're working on, that painting, that book, whatever, that music album, that opera, whatever you're making, you've got to ask yourself, how badly do you want it? And then you have to learn how to convert that energy, that desire, into action. You know, I mean, the day when you're sitting there and you feel like you've got writer's block, or, you know, that drawing is just coming out just crappy and you just want to throw it in the trash, you have to learn to keep chipping away at the creative process. You know, each time that you sit down for an hour and force yourself to just be productive, whether you're feeling it or not, you're 1 hour closer to that novel being done. You're 1 hour closer to that painting or that comic. You know, just keep chipping away at it. And you'll learn that some days it's not all going to be fantastic. That's okay. It happens. But if you let that resistance stop you, you're going to feel worse afterwards. It's like going to the gym. You may not feel like doing it when you wake up in the morning, but once you get out there and get to work, even during the workout, you may feel like terrible. But when it's over, you're glad that you did it. You wish you had, and that's how you're going to feel about your creative works also. When I was working on this wash, it was definitely not coming out the way that I envisioned. Like, I thought it would be like this nice, beautiful blossoming out of watercolor, just blooming all over the page. You know, that beautiful flowery effect that watercolors have. And part of this is that I haven't used watercolor in a really long time. I definitely haven't used it on a large scale like this. And When you're doing situations like that where it's just not coming out the way you thought it would, it's frustrating. It's difficult. But you have to lean into those difficulties. That's it for now. You can check out my website, jeremy.net. That's GERIMI.net. That's where you can buy my comic books and artwork. You can also sign up for my free weekly newsletter to get a behind-the-scenes look at my creative process, updates on new comic books and artwork releases, and upcoming comic book convention appearances. Okay, go be creative.